Hello, able to hear me? Just a minute. I just wanted to know whether anything got created or not here. Yeah, I think we are starting our live here. Just wanted to check the sound. Yes, we can proceed. Okay, so I think good. Yep. So basically, we have an application here where some application, okay, that you have developed with Spring Data, Spring Boot, okay, and you want to connect with the database, and that database where you will exchange the information, okay. So what you can do and what are the different options you have. Okay, so one, you can use JDBC template. You can use, in our previous live we have used JDBC client as well, and Hibernate as well. There were a couple of others, in my previous project I have worked on one, but I forgot now. Yeah, so one of the more recommended and efficient is the Spring Data Jpa. Maybe let me put here Spring Data Jpa. Okay, let me increase the font, be something like this. Okay, yeah, cool. So one of the most important and very easy to use is a Spring Data JPA, because Spring Boot will itself will take care of all the things. You simply need to, auto-while that. Okay, and also it will generate the SQLs for you. You simply use that find by name, find by ID, something like that. It will generate everything, under hood. It will generate all the SQLs for you. You don't need to worry about it. Okay, so what we can do now is let's create a Spring Boot project from the scratch. Okay, so for that purpose, let me go to Spring Starter, sorry, Spring Initializer. Okay, let's go to Spring Initializer here, and let's keep this as uh, CRUD Operations with, I think, CRUD Operations with JPA. Let's keep it like that. Okay, I'm using 3.2.1 and I'm taking the Maven project here, and I'm making this as a WAR file using Java 17. Okay, now let's add the dependencies. Okay, so first one is web dependency, and the next one is, let me take JPA. Okay, so these are nothing but Spring starters. Okay, Spring starter libraries Spring Boot itself is providing, so it's very easy for us to start using this. And let me add something called Lombok so that I can use all the setters and getters. And is MariaDB is available? Yeah, I think I have MariaDB as well. Let me use that. So what a library, what database you want to connect here? Here I am using, in my case I am using MariaDB. In your case you might be using any other relational database as well works. MariaDB is an open source and easy to use one, so I have installed in my system, and you could see here my MariaDB server is also up and running, and I have a client as well where I can directly connect with the MariaDB SQL. In that sense, it provides me more flexibility. Okay, you could see here, I can directly connect like this. Cool, nice. Now let's generate the application here. You could see our application is generated directly. Cool. JPA, we got it. Let me cut this. Let me cut this and put it in some folder. Okay. So let me put it here. Okay. Now let me extract this. Something like extract here. Okay, so our JPA folder got created. I can simply open it in your IDE. In my case, I'm using, okay, let me first open this. Let's go to that particular path. Should be Java, right? Let me take, okay. Yeah, in this folder I have JPA, this one. Okay, so you can use any of IDE of your choice. I have IntelliJ installed, which is a community version, which is free community version. So I will strongly suggest you guys to give it a try, this as well. You can use STS, you can use IntelliJ, but I believe STS, Eclipse, NetBeans, but I believe IntelliJ is far better and very lightweight as well. Okay, so now you could see in the down it is resolving all the dependencies. Okay, now you could see it is resolving all the dependencies. Good. Now let's go to the pom.xml and see what are the things available. Okay, so if you see Spring starter data, we got starter web, we got MariaDB, because I am using RDBMS here. RDBMS database in my case is MariaDB, and I have the Lombok, so that I can simply don't have to generate the setters and getters. I can simply use annotations provided by Lombok, and I have Tomcat. This will be inbuilt coming, and also the test as well, it is inbuilt coming. Okay, these are the libraries I have. Okay, so how we got it? From Spring Initializer. Cool. Now since I have this MariaDB installed, I need to have those properties, right? So where I can keep them, I have to keep it in my application properties. Okay, what are the properties we have to keep? Something like data source, username, password, dialect, all those things. Okay, these are very hard to remember, so I will use it from my previous project. Something like this I have, so I'll keep it here directly. So now you could see here, it is this is the data source URL JDBC MariaDB, and it is using the local host, my port number, and this is the database name. Here you could see this is the database name. Okay, cool. Now the username and password of my database, and the driver name. Okay, driver name and dialect. In this case, dialect is MariaDB. That means it is going to act as a medium between the database and my application. Okay, with the help of this dialect, and I'm saying please generate a DDL for me, show the SQLs and update as well. Please generate it for me. Okay, these options I am providing, and let me take server dot port is equal to something called 9013. Okay, that means application will start at this particular port called 9013. Okay, these are the two things we need to set up. Okay, and what we have. Cool. Now let's let me go here. This is my application, right? I just wanted to run this so that I am pretty sure that everything is working or not. Okay, so let me put one sys out like, hey, this is demo. Okay, go to the maven, execute your maven goal, mvn spring boot run. This should start your application. Okay, you could see in the down it is starting. Okay, whatever the libraries we have, it will automatically set, and it should close that server immediately because there were no endpoints, no APIs being defined here, so it should close automatically. Hey, this is a demo, okay, and it started. I think we are good now. You could see everything is coming. I thought it will close. Cool. Okay, our application is up and running. Cool, nice. Let me close this as well. So now what we are going to do, is a CRUD operations from our Spring Boot application to database. What is mean by CRUD? CRUD is nothing but create, update, delete, and read. Right. Cool. Okay. Right. Nice. Cool. Create is nothing but you could take it as an insert as well. Okay, so our application is running, so I don't have to use println. Yeah, one more thing I would like to suggest is like, don't use sysouts anywhere. This is not very bad practice, since you already have Lombok in your system. So simply use something called slf4j, and this sysout you can replace with log.info. This is a good suggestion here. Just remembered just now. Okay, cool. And also one more thing is your package name should not be caps here. com.jpa is a caps, right? That is not a good suggestion. Try to use small letters. Maybe next time onwards we will look into that. This is my main class, right? At this level you can start creating your own packages. Okay, something like, let me keep entity. This is one, and second one, further creating entities, let me take something called controller, and the third one is, let me take something called service as well. And if you have any doubt guys, you can always ask in the chat so that I can try to help you out. Okay, so all the packages were created which are useful for me. Let me go to the entity package and create a class. Okay, so let me take something called student class here. Entity in most of the language, not just database, in most of the language, not just Spring Boot, in most of the languages entity refers to as a table. Okay, you should remember entity means refers to as a table, and you need to use annotation called entity and table annotation, and name is equal to basically, let me take student as a name. Okay, now let's define all the columns. Private long id, this is nothing but student id. I wanted this to be a id, so I have given that, and this should be like auto generated. No, so let's use a key annotation called generated. Maybe uh, generated value yeah, cool. I think that would be good. Now let's take a column. Okay, column, let's name it as name. Let's keep it as private string name here. Okay, private string name. And let's take one more column, something called column here, and let's keep name is equal to, what is the name of the column we want to keep? Something called address. This is a very basic thing we are trying to take here. Okay, these three should be sufficient and good. Let me keep a post here somewhere just to let everyone know that we are live. put it here. We are live. If interested, please join. Let's put this here. Nice. Okay, so this is a entity we have created. Good. Now one more thing I forgot is repo package. So repo, let's take something like this and create a student repository, which is nothing but my interface student repo, okay, which extends Jpa repository of student, and what is the column is long. Here what you need to give is this. I mean to say, in your entity you have a ID column. What is the type of that ID? Okay, in my case it is a long, so that I am using. Okay, that I am using. So this is my student repo. Okay, so let me annotate with repository. Cool, nice. Now let's go to the service and create a class. Okay, something called student service class. Let's create it. Okay, now let me take this as service. Okay, and let me create public. I can close this public. As of now, let me keep it as void add student method. Okay, let me take this so that I can add my student here. Okay, so here what you can do is private final student repo, which is nothing but student repo. Let me take it something like this, and I am doing a constructor based injection with the help of Lombok. So I have taken rlogs constructor here, and let's add a parameter of student. So like this, student. Okay, in this case what I can do is I can keep this as implements serializable. Cool. Now I have the service here, student, right? And let me create a object called student. Okay, so from there I am getting, right, from here anyway I am getting this. Okay, so do I have to bind it? No. Where this is coming from? This will come as a body in my API, as a request body in my post call. I'm going to define that. I don't have to do anything here. Okay, so let me keep something like this, repo dot save, and let me take that entity. Okay, and is it returning anything? Yes, it is returning this. So let me take that student object here, and let me return that. Let me return that. Cool, nice. Okay, now I have the controller. Let me create a REST controller for the student. So let me take student controller in this case. Okay, this should be the REST controller. So let me take as REST controller. Okay, and I need to import that service here, right? So let me take private final student service as student service. Okay, let me keep something called rlogs constructor here. Cool, right? Anyone watching? Okay, cool, no issue. Okay, if you have any doubts, you can always ask here, no problem. Okay, now this is student service. I have this is good. Now what I need to do, I need to generate the setters and getters, right? So post mapping value is equal to slash add student. Okay, and let me take this as public void add student as request body student. I'm taking student, and this one should go to student service dot add student of student, and here let me take something called response entity of here student, right? Cool. So here return response entity dot okay of body. This is my body, and that is what I'm returning. Okay, this is my first controller, that is the post controller I have, which is good. Now let me try to run this. In the meantime, let me start my postman. Okay, now you could see our application is starting. What is the port number? Port number should be 9014, I believe. Okay, now you could see this is a log we have written in the main class. It is coming here, and also the port number should be 9013. Okay, 9013. This should be my post, and here add student is my endpoint. Okay, and what is the body I have? Let me keep name, let's say as Karthik, and let me keep address, let's say as Hyderabad. Beautify this, click on send. Okay, internal server. Why? Does not have a default value SID. Okay, student ID. Okay, does not have a default value. Generate. Okay, generated value, maybe generated there's something called strategy as well, that also I can use. Maybe generated and I think strategy is strategy. Okay, 1 minute. Strategy is equal to, let me Google that. generated this, generated value. You could see generated value this. Nice. Yeah, cool, nice. I think this should solve our issue. Let me run this one more time. Name and address. It will take little bit of time. In the meantime, if you have any doubt, let me know in the comment section so that I can help more on this. Okay, any doubt in your thing, you can always ask me. I can help more on this topic. Okay, now you could see our application is started. Let me try to run this one more time. Okay, what happened? I think the table might be existing, does not have a default value. Okay, I think the table could be existing here. That's what I'm thinking. Student. Now you could see SID means in this. Okay, it is taking that. No problem. Drop table student. Let me drop this. Run it. Let me refresh this. That's it. Do we have that? Nope. We don't have. That's good. Now let me try to run one more time. I think I need to restart because it might be using the cache. Now you could see our application is about to start. Cool, nice. Let me click on send. 200. Okay, address and name. Okay, is it not inserted? Let me keep select star from. Okay, it is not taken address and name properly. It means I might have not given properly here. Name ADDRGSS name. Okay, okay, let's go here and see what is that we did wrong. Private string. Acha, understood. I need to generate. Okay, something called setters and getters. I need to take it. So setters and getters, or else I can do something called Lombok, no args constructor, all args constructor. I can take that direction. Okay, this will serialize that and automatically bind. Name, address, spelling wise correct, ID correct. Cool, cool. These are the possible issues you will also face it. It's not just me, I think, but we should know how to resolve these sort of issues. Okay, so I think our application is started. Now let me try to hit that. Yep, now you could see we got two. This is generated value. We got name and address properly defined, and we got that properly. If I run this, you could see we got them properly. Cool. Now next is, this is nothing but our create our slash insert, you could see, and in our service let me keep public list of student and here uh, get student based on name. So let me keep it something like this, and the list should be imported from Java util list. Okay, and I have the repo here, so simply use find by name. Okay, and name here. You should remember one thing here. Here we are creating that method. Cool. And this, let me keep it as list of student. You should remember one thing here. So okay, let me import that list first and let's talk about that. Importing list is done. Okay, one thing you should remember is this by name I given it should be matching with the name here, and in a camel in case format I need to use. Okay, that is important, and this will return list of student, right? Let me keep it here something like this, and let me keep get mapping here. Okay, get mapping, and value is equal to get student public. Let me take response entity of list of student. Okay, and let me take get student of. Okay, one minute. Import the list. Done. Here I wanted a name, right? So string name. Okay, this should be a path variable, right? So let me keep something called name, and this should be like a path variable for type name. Okay, for type name. Cool. Now let me add this service here. So student service dot get student of name. This should be like a response entity. Return response entity dot. Okay. Okay, so I think we are good to go here as well. So let me execute this. We have a get call here. Okay, as part of CRUD, how we have implemented a create and read with the help of get mapping. We change this to get, and I will say get student. Let me copy this and paste it here. And the name, let me keep it as Karthik. Body should be none, and application should be starting. Yep, get list of students. We got it right. Let me keep one here which name does not exist. I'm getting the empty list, which is good, which is expected. Fantastic. Next is, let me go to the service layer here, and let me add one more thing, which is update. So public, let me keep as of now white. Update student by taking the name. Okay, so update is nothing but the save only, but in a little different way. Okay, so how that is name we have it, and here the name. Okay, what I can do is, let me take something like this, student with the existing name. I wanted to update the address. Okay, so the request body, I'm keeping something like this only. From here I will get the name, that name I will use it to, for this purpose, find by name purpose, and with that name I will update that value. Okay, something called student repo here, find by name, which is nothing but name is coming from here by dot get name. Okay, and this should, here that the problem with this is it will give list of students, right? Students, students. Okay, so do you want to update all of them? That's the first question. And is it going to be null? Null not is equal to students. Okay, I'm into a tricky situation here. Let me do one thing here. Okay, okay. Fine, no issue, no issue. If students, if I'm getting that many, if I'm getting null, I have to do nothing. If I'm getting not null, then I have to do take that list of students and I'm updating them by using for each student, right? Because I have the list of student. Do you think that is a good suggestion? That means, do you want to update list of elements here, or you want to do something else? That is also you need to remember. Okay, let me show you what I am trying to say here. Let's keep s in students, something like this. Okay, here for each student, shall I update the value that I am getting and you know save it? No, that is not a good suggestion. Okay, that is not a good suggestion. In this case, what you need to do is you need to have other parameters to, you know uh, other parameters to uniquely identify a student object, because updating a list doesn't make sense to me. You can do it, but it is a very rare cases you will do it. Most of the times you will identify a record uniquely, then you update. Okay, so for that purpose, what I will do is, instead of by name, if you have the name, well and good, but I would suggest by id, because if you see, this id is going to be my this id is going to be my unique column, right? So that I would strongly suggest. So let me create a one more method here called by id. So student by id, and let me keep student dot get id. This should return me only one object, I'm pretty sure, and sometimes this should return me optional as well, because I'm not sure whether that id exists or not, right? So this should return me optional as well. Let me put the lights on. Yeah, so keep this, and students op, student optional also you could take. And let me remove this, or else what I can do here is, I have this variable, right? So let me use it over here. Optional dot is present. If it is present, what you need to do, you need to get that student s is equal to student optional dot get. So I am getting that student directly here. Okay, once I have this student with me, what I need to do, I need to update my other fields like s dot set name. Okay, s dot set name will be nothing but student dot get name, and s dot set address would be nothing but student dot get address. And this particular student, I can save it here. So save, you have the save and flush as well. Okay, we need to see that in near future. Cool, nice. Let me write it down somewhere else. Save flush, and one thing I come across is SQL tuple. Cool, nice. And you have save all flush as well. Cool, nice. Okay, I have this student save, and I can use this here, right? This is nothing but my student return type. Let me keep it as a student return type here, and let me return this directly here. Okay, cool, nice. And here, somewhere here, let me keep return null. Nice. This is my update. So let me keep something called put mapping here. Put mapping value is equal to update student. Okay, and public. Yep. Response entity of. Okay, let me copy paste this guy directly. Not the list. I don't want the list here. So response entity of student should be like update student. And I have the request body with me, that is the student. Request body is student. So many students are coming. Okay, okay, which is nothing but my update student, right? So student service dot update student of student. And here I am going to introduce a local variable of student. Let me add return response entity dot OK of body student service. Keep it here. Yeah, I think we are good to go here as well. Let me keep mbn spring boot run. If you have any doubt, right, you can let me know in a comment section so that I can help you more on this. This is a very beginners friendly topic on Spring Data Jpa CRUD Operations. Okay, so if you have any doubt, you can always let me know in a comment section so that I can help you more on this particular topic. Now you could see we are using this properly, and I think, yep. Now this is my put mapping. Let me go here and do a put mapping and add updated student. Raw type, and the name is, let me keep name to Betty and address to, let's say, Pune. Okay, Pune, but ID is the one I am more interested on. So this ID should be matching with this ID. This is 2, so let me keep 2 separated by comma and beautified it. Good to go. Now you could see 2. I have updated the value. So for this particular ID of 2, the address and the name should be updated. Now you could see address and name is updated, which is good. That is an update. Now let's delete that. Wow, this is good. This is good. Update service, we have it. Now let me keep a delete as well. Keep it void here. Delete student of let's see, student repo dot delete. We have the delete, but delete, if you have that entity you can delete it. Okay, that sense you can do, or if you want to delete all you can do. If you have the id you can delete anything, is fine. Okay, delete all id in batch. Wow, good. Delete all in batch, this is also very good. Let me write it down. Delete in batch. This I need to explore. If I know delete in batch, I'm pretty much sure to go with delete all in batch as well. Nice. So let me delete this student. Okay. No, I don't think this is a good, because knowing a student is very difficult, right? So let me do something called, because I have id, let me do something called student string by id. Let me take long id. If I know the id I can delete it, so that I will maintain that uniqueness. Okay. So for that reason you need to use something like this. So optional and all these things, let me copy paste it here. What I am doing, find by id. Okay, 1 second. Sorry for that. Yeah, so I have this id, so let me use id over here, and long id, if it is percentage delete that thing, right? So get and done and dusted. This should be good. Yep, delete student. Now let me go to the controller and use a delete mapping over here, something like this. Delete mapping value is equal to delete student by id. So let me keep id here, and public void delete student by path variable call id, which is this, and long id. Okay, so response entity, do I need this? No, anyhow I'm doing void, right? Cool. So student service dot delete student of the id which I am passing on. Cool, nice. I think this as well we are ready. What we can do is simply use this over here. Now you could see our application is compiling. In the meantime, let me put my postman ready, like delete student, that is the student, and by id let me keep something called 2 here. And is my postman up and running? Yes, 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 yes. We keep none, click on send. 200. Okay, this should be deleting here, and yep, got deleted, right? Cool. Yep. So this is the CRUD operations that I would like to do in this live. I hope it's useful until here. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you. It's me, Karthik, signing off.